Randy Schrader.
Ron Williams and the others for granting me these few minutes. I was asked to cover two topics, and I'll spread those out a little bit. I was asked first to describe why it is that I'm excited about this opportunity. And I guess the first reason I'm excited about this opportunity is because FGX, Forever Green, it's a direct selling company. And I believe all the way to the center of my being, my life experiences have proven to me that the direct selling industry, when its correct principles are properly applied, is a better way to generate income, it's a better way to move products to end-line users, it's a better way to live. Here's what I know. A number of years ago, for the first time, I walked in a room like this one. When I walked in, I didn't know what I was walking into, but when I walked in, my spirits were lifted. It was something I couldn't measure, it wasn't tangible, but nevertheless it was real. I walked into a room and my spirits were lifted. Today, all these years later, I know why that occurred. I know why it occurred then. I know why it occurred when I walked in this convention for the first day, and I know why it occurred when I walked into this session. Because I walked into a room full of people who have hope. I walked into a room of people who are trying to become more. I walked into a room full of people who are not competing one with another, but whose individual successes are born of the successes of organizations. And it's just a great way to live. So why am I excited? I'm excited, number one, because I chose a career path a number of years ago. And Rick yesterday, he commented that we should make a career choice for a company. I agree with that, but when I chose the industry, this company didn't exist, and so I couldn't make that choice at that point. And the company that I was most recently involved with and had such great success likewise doesn't exist, and so I now find myself having to make a new choice, a choice carefully considered, a choice that I'm now satisfied is entirely correct, that becoming affiliated, choosing to remain in this wonderful industry and choosing to align myself with this great group of people, with Forever Green, with Ron Williams. Why am I excited to be here? Number one, I love the direct selling industry, and the reason I love it is because it's what it's forced me to become. That day when I walked in the door all those years ago, I was selfish, I was self-centered, I hardly knew the difference between the true and the false. I was not a person that today I would want to be in association with. Today I am far from perfect, far from it. But I'm a much, much, much better person than I was when I walked in the door first. This industry has required that of me. And in fact, when Jeff said the possibility exists for your next work to be your best work, for my next work to be my best work, that will only be true if I continue to learn, grow, develop, and become. My greatest success is behind me if I stagnate. My greatest success can be in front of me. Your greatest success can be in front of you if, in fact, we become more. We cannot simply join a new company and have greater outcomes if we remain the same people. If I become a little bit better person in some part of my life, then I have a chance for this to become the capstone, the keystone of my career. And so I'll work towards that with joy and enthusiasm. I'm excited about that possibility. Why else am I excited to be here? How many of you have children? You guys have kids? Yeah. Is there anything in your life more important to you than the success of your children? Is there? Yeah. That's pretty prevalent, isn't it? That's a big deal for us. Well, my son Blake is the president of this company's European operations. There's nothing more important to me in my life than contributing in some small way to the success of my children, contributing to his success in any way. It's huge for me. And by the way, it's been with great pride and satisfaction that I've watched his contributions here. He is one of the beneficiaries of what this direct selling industry can create, the kind of people, the kind of man that it can make. And I'm proud of what I've seen. I'm thrilled to have been a part of that. Why else am I excited to be here? You know, a long number of years ago, I met a gentleman named Mark Hughes. And Mark Hughes had a specialness about him. When he walked into the room, the energy in the room shifted, it changed. There was a different vibration. Once again, something that couldn't be measured, but it was tangible. Mark walked in and the attitude and the energy changed before he opened his mouth. I've never compared another industry executive to Mark until the day that I met Ron Williams. The day that I met Ron Williams, I told people I've just met a person who, when I met him, the energy shifted. And each time I've since been in association with him, he spent time in my home, I've spent time with him in situations at the office and on the road. We've had moments of joy and already moments of controversy in my relatively short period of time here, but I've seen the way that he reacts to each situation. I am thrilled to be involved with this company because I'm thrilled to be in association and business with and to share life's experiences with Ron Williams. That for me is a big one. Now this next step, this next thought for me is a critically important one. How many of you have ever bought a new car or a car that was new for you? How many of you ever bought a new car? How many of you ever owned a new home? You've moved into a home. Have you done that? And do you remember the pride and the joy and the sense of satisfaction of it being yours? When you bought a new car, did that feel the same as when you rented a car from Hertz, or did it feel different? It felt quite different, didn't it? Well, I will here be so cautious because I don't know your investment objectives. I don't know your current financial circumstance, but what I know is this. Simply becoming a distributor in this company is one thing, but becoming an owner of this company is quite another. Renting a car feels a certain way. Buying one feels different. We get a chance to know the truth. That's so important to me. You know, Ronald Reagan, when he was the President of the United States a long number of years ago, there was this not low level, really this relatively high level of anxiety always between the United States and the Soviet Union. And there were all these nuclear armament treaties and talks, discussions going on. And Reagan said, I will choose to trust because I want to trust. I won't live in paranoia. I want to trust. I will choose to trust, but I will verify. I absolutely love the fact that when I tell somebody Forever Green's had its greatest month in history last month, I don't have to trust someone telling me that. I get to see financial statements. I love it that when somebody says, well, Randy, what do you think about the stability of the compensation plan? Can they afford to pay it? I can say, well, I looked at last quarter's financial statements and I noticed that the gross margins went up, not down, and that's what dictates what the company can pay. When the company says to us all, we're experiencing success, we're growing region by region by region, I choose to trust, but I also choose to verify. I look at financial statements, I read the 10Q. We get a chance to know the truth. We get to be owners, and whether or not we choose to be owners, I encourage each of you to take it upon yourself to have this opportunity to know with confidence that you can invite people to join you in this business and that what's being said from the stage, what's being delivered from the corporate offices is the raw, unvarnished truth. It's being published in financial statements. This direct selling industry is wonderful in so many ways. In at least one respect, it's challenging, and here's a challenge. It provokes feelings of insecurity among even the most secure people. Hi, I'm Randy Schrader. I once said I'm a senior vice president at Merrill Lynch. That felt a certain way. Hi, I'm Randy Schrader. I'm involved in direct selling. For some period of time, that did not feel as good to me. Today, I believe this. There is simply not a more edifying statement than I can make than saying, hi, I'm Randy Schrader. I have learned how to properly apply those fundamental principles which govern direct selling in such a way that my long-term success has been predicated upon the widespread successes of other people. Today, there is nothing more esteeming than I could say, and that I have developed the skills required, and I work to continue to develop the character required to be a leader in this industry whose primary purpose is to help other people learn, grow, develop, and become. In my final moments, I will simply say this. This business is relatively easy. There are only 4 simple skills. Now, when I say that, some people push back. Easy, Randy, is it easy? This business is relatively easy. There are 4 simple skills. We must learn how to first write down a simple list of names. That's easy. That's an activity. Learning to so live our lives so that a candidate list grows in front of us, that's a lifelong process, and it determines our ultimate outcome. Learning then how to invite, knowing what to say and what not to say so we can get out of the way and let a tool talk. Simply being a tour guide, learning how to invite so that candidate list sees the opportunity, not seeing the person who presents the opportunity. Then learning how to present the business in an eminently replicatable fashion. And finally, learning how to do new member orientations. That's it. 4 simple skills. Anyone can develop them. That's relatively easy. Here's the more challenging part. The more challenging part is to recognize this. Our access to people, and therefore our relative ease or great challenge in growing the business, is determined by the way that we live our lives. If we so live our lives such that others seek to be in association with us, then of course whatever opportunity we propose to them will be welcomed and greeted with open arms. I am so very, very grateful that a few years ago I entered this industry. I want you all to know, however, that I understand with complete clarity that that's the runway behind me. The past is the past. I can learn from it, but I cannot live in it. Everything is about now. Everything is about today. It's about what I do today, what we do today. It's about what we do tomorrow. It's all about the now. The past is the past. I can learn from it. I can't live in it. I look forward with great anticipation for the coming years. I'm thrilled to be a part of Forever Green. I am thrilled to be a part of FGX. I am so thrilled that whenever Ron says to me, welcome home, I don't have to think of myself as a renter. Welcome home. I can be a homeowner. I can be a part of this company as a distributor and as a shareholder. I'd like to say, God bless you all. Thank you.